Today, I'd like to show you an experiment which I just conducted last Sunday with Apeuni speaking mock test. And in this experiment, you are going to see how I perform in each task, in each question in speaking module. And then I'm going to show you the templates that I use for describe image task and retail lecture. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the result, my score report. And then we are going to discuss, I'm going to share the final tips and tricks for each questions in speaking module so that you can get the ideas and then you can implement it when you prepare for your exam. And after watching this video, I hope that you're gonna get the clear picture of how you are going to deal with PTE academic exam, especially for speaking section. So let's go. Augustus was given the powers of an absolute monarch, but he presented himself as the preserver of republican traditions. He treated the Senate or State Council with great respect and was made consul year after year. He successfully reduced the political power of the army by retiring many soldiers but giving them land or money to keep their loyalty. Augustus was given the powers of an absolute monarch, but he presented himself as the preserver of republican traditions. He treated the Senate or State Council with great respect and was made consul year after year. He successfully reduced the political power of the army by retiring many soldiers, but giving them land or money to keep their loyalty. Blue is the most popular color. Food researchers disagree. When humans searched for food, they learned to avoid toxic or spoiled objects, which were often blue, black, or purple. When food died, blue is served to study subjects. They lose appetite. Blue is the most popular color. Food researchers disagree. When humans searched for food, they learned to avoid toxic or spoiled objects, which were often blue, black, or purple. When food died, blue is served to study subjects. They lose appetite. Australians do speak English. However, for some tourists and travelers, it can be difficult to understand the slang. Also, the links between Australian and American English were seen to be very tenuous. At least some colloquialisms. Colloquialisms in Australian English do not exist in other types of English. Australians do speak English. However, for some tourists and travelers, it can be difficult to understand the slang. Also, the links between Australian and American English were seen to be very tenuous. At least some colloquialisms in Australian English do not exist in other types of English. Companies will want to be known not just for the financial results they generate, but equally for the imprint they leave on society as a whole. First, ensuring that their products contribute positively. Second, operating in a way that approaches a net neutral impact to the natural environment. And third, cherishing their people. Companies will want to be known not just for the financial results they generate, but equally for the imprint they leave on society as a whole. First, ensuring that their products contribute positively. Second, operating in a way that approaches a net neutral impact to the natural environment. And third, cherishing their people. A unique characteristic of online shopping is to create retail interfaces with highly interactive features. One desirable form of interactivity from a consumer perspective is the implementation of sophisticated tools to assist shoppers in their purchase decisions by customizing the electronic shopping environment to their individual preferences. A unique characteristic of online shopping environments is that they allow vendors to create retail interfaces with highly interactive features. One desirable form of interactivity from a consumer perspective is the implementation of sophisticated tools to assist shoppers in their purchase decisions by customizing the electronic shopping environment to their individual preferences. Imagine living all your life as the only family on your street. Then one morning you open the front door and discover houses all around you. You see neighbors tending their gardens and children walking to school. Where did all the people come from? What if the answer turned out to be that they had always been there, you just hadn't seen them? Imagine living all your life as the only family on your street. Then one morning, you open the front door and discover houses all around you. You see neighbors tending their gardens and children walking to school. Where did all the people come from? What if the answer turned out to be that they had always been there, you just hadn't seen them? Before the discovery of Australia, people in the Old World were convinced that all swans were white, an unassailable belief, as it seemed completely confirmed by empirical evidence. The sighting of the first black swan might have been an interesting surprise for a few scientists, but that is not where the significance of the story lies. Unassailable belief, an unassailable. Before the discovery of Australia, people in the Old World were convinced that all swans were white, an unassailable belief as it seemed completely confirmed by empirical evidence. The sighting of the first black swan might have been an interesting surprise for a few scientists, but that is not where the significance of the story lies.
Knowledge becomes a vital role in young generations.
Knowledge becomes vital role in young generations.
At that time, people moved from towns to villages.
At that time, people moved from towns to villages.
It is expected that all students have their own laptops.
It is expected that all students have their own laptops.
You have to submit the project by the end of the week.
You have to submit the project by the end of the week.
None of the students found it difficult to get a job.
None of the students found it difficult to get a job.
His particular interest is in the 18th century French society.
His interest is in the 18th century French society.
Such behaviors are regarded as a deviation of the norm.
Such behaviors regarded as deviation of the norm.
Students can choose graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and master course.
Students can choose graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and master course.
Human activities are the principal cause of global warming.
Human activities the principal cause of global warming.
It took several hours for the fire brigade to extinguish the blaze.
It took several hours for the fire brigade to extinguish the blaze.
A man who suffered serious brain damage during an operation is suing the hospital.
A man suffered serious damage during operation suing the hospital. The given image gives information about life cycle of an apple tree. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image which are 1, 2, 3, 4. The given image gives information about life cycle of an apple tree. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image which are fruit, seeds, sprout, tree, and flower. One of the element is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative. Internet population, millions of users, China, US, Japan, Germany, UK, France, India, Russia, Brazil, South Korea, Canada, Italy, Spain, Mexico, and Netherlands. Internet population, internet or internet. The given image gives information about internet population. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image which are millions of users, internet population, 0, 50, 100, 150 and 200. China, US, Japan, Germany, UK, France, Russia, India, Brazil, South Korea, Canada, Italy, Spain, Mexico, Netherlands. One of the elements is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative. Students who worked ages 14 to 18. Number of students ages worked, did not work. One of the elements is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative. The given image gives information about students who worked ages 14 to 18. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image which are number of students 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, worked, did not work, ages 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. One of the elements is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative.
A new study of fish called sticklebacks shows that shy individuals actually prefer to follow fish that are similarly timid. This is Scientific American's 60-Second Science. I'm Karen Hopkin. This'll just take a minute. Researchers had trios of sticklebacks with known personalities play follow the leader. The fish were placed in a tank that had some plastic plants at one end and some food hidden at the other. In some of the groups, a bold fish and a shy fish acted as leaders, while another shy fish followed. And in other groups, it was a bold fish that did the following. The researchers recorded whether the follower sallied forth more frequently with the fish that was behaviorally similar or the one that was different. What they found is that shy fish were more likely to emerge from under cover when an equally wary fellow was already out there. Bold follower fish did not seem to care as much which leader they followed. Of course, no matter which fish a stickleback chose to stick with, the bold fish did lead more joint expeditions over the course of the experiment than their more retiring friends. That's because the bold fish initiated more trips, regardless of who might be tailing them. The researchers write that when offered a choice of leaders, sticklebacks prefer to follow individuals whose personality matches their own. But bolder individuals may, nevertheless, be able to impose their leadership, even among shy followers, simply through greater effort. Thanks for the minute. For Scientific American's 60-Second Science, I'm Karen Hopkin.
This was the main topic of the lecture he talked about, and also fish was the main topic of the lecture. He talked about stickleback shows. He also talked about researchers. He also talked about play follow the leader, some food hidden. Bold fish and a shy fish acted as leaders. He also talked about that shy fish were more likely to emerge. He also talked about one that was different from undercover, which leader they followed. The bold fish did lead more expeditions. He also talked about initiated more trips. He also talked about matches their own. He also talked about personality through greater effort. To conclude, the lecture was very informative.
How many years are there in 2 centuries?
200.
What do we call an amount of money that is taken off the usual cost of something?
Discount.
What is the generic term for gold, silver, and copper?
Metal.
Which continent is Canada located in?
North America.
What is the opposite of the minus sign?
Plus sign.
What is the food that is used in a recipe?
Ingredients. Okay, this is my score after submitting around 15 minutes. And then you can see that my speaking section test 36A score report. I got 86 for my speaking. I just did speaking section. As you know that PTE academic exam is the integrated skill test. By doing speaking section by itself, I get listening score 32, and then I got the point for reading section as well 25. Just doing some item from the speaking section, but we don't get anything from writing because there is no related task, between speaking and writing. And the good thing about Apeuni application is that you can check the score analysis. It's very good. It's much better than the official mock test, because on the official mock test, you can't check your detail. You can't check your score analysis. But in Apeuni, you can. So let's have a closer look at each of the tasks. Starting with the most important task, which is read aloud. You see that read aloud contribute to your speaking score about 33%. 33%. That's why I always recommend you to prepare a lot for read aloud question. And if you perform it well during your real exam, you are going to get very good score for your speaking. As you can see that my correctness in read aloud is 97.1%, which is one of the main reasons why I got speaking 86. So I highly recommend you to practice a lot of read aloud question. And you have to focus on the three main criteria, which are the content, pronunciation, and the fluency. And a lot of people ask me when they saw my short videos on my YouTube channel, they ask me like, what about the speed? The speed that I post on my short videos, is that the same speed that I speak when I take my exam? The answer is yes, I speak like that. I speak with the moderate pace, moderate speed. You have to be able to convey the message. Don't need to speak too fast, because speaking fast doesn't mean that you're going to get high score. You have to speak naturally. You have to speak with a moderate tempo, moderate speed, like I show you on my short videos. Now moving on to the second most important task in speaking section, which is repeat sentence. Again, 30% contributing to your speaking score, which is a lot, and also is contribute to your listening score as well. So you have to practice a lot, because it's one of the big four tasks that I always recommend you to practice and perform it well for your real exam. As you can see that my correctness for repeat sentence is 90.5%. That's why the overall speaking score is 86, you see. And one more time, I already mentioned in my previous video, in my speaking mock test 36B, that the algorithm from the official test, Pearson, and the algorithm from Apeuni is totally different. On here, Apeuni, you have to give a lot of content in order to get higher score in repeat sentence. But in your real exam, I highly recommend you to just try to catch the content around 50-60% is totally fine. But you have to focus more on the fluency, pronounce the word that you hear clearly, and then you are going to be fine for repeat sentence, focusing more on the fluency, like speak naturally, maintain the flow, maintain the smooth flow, and then you are going to get high score for your repeat sentence. Therefore, you are going to get very, very good score for your speaking section. But this is the mock test from Apeuni. That's why I'm trying to speak a lot of contents, because I know that Apeuni algorithm requires a lot of content, if I want to get high score. Now I'm going to talk about the third most important task, which is describe image. You can see that it contributes to your speaking score about 22%. And here my correctness in describe image 78.8%, which is okay, but if you see, you can compare with other tasks. You see that my describe image here for the mock test 36A, this is the lowest score among other tasks. So I want to show you what's wrong, what have I done wrong, so that next time I can improve my describe image task and improve my speaking score as well. So you can scroll down. And here, the question number 19, describe image Apple life cycle. So score info, I got 60 out of 90, which is not really good. So I can click here. The given image gives, you see the content, I get 70 point out of 90, which is okay, but not really good. Pronunciation, I have to definitely improve my pronunciation because 63 out of 90. And you see, my fluency is so bad because I just got 48 point. That's why the overall score for this question is 60 out of 90. So I know that next time for describe image, I have to focus on the fluency. I have to improve my fluency as soon as possible if I want to get higher score next time, or if I want to get higher score in the real exam. So have a look here. A low score in fluency, what does this mean? It means that too many pauses, too many pauses. It means speaking too slow or too fast. I have to maintain the natural fluency as native English speakers. And the number 3, in continuous speech, I have to maintain my speech flow next time if I want to improve my fluency score. And now we are going to talk about number 4 task, which is retail lecture. Retail lecture contribute to speaking score about 10%. And you see my correctness is 94.7%, which is good. I want to share to you that for retail lecture this day, people said that they got low score in speaking section for Pte academic exam because they just speak the keywords for retail lecture. So I highly recommend you to try to take the small phrases or small sentences instead of taking the keywords. People say that the algorithm is updated, so they feel like for retail lecture, before, if you just speak the keywords, you might be able to get good score for speaking section. But now 2023, people recommend to take small phrases or short sentences for retail lecture if you want to get high score in speaking section. And of course, you have to, when you speak, you have to maintain your fluency, you have to take care of your pronunciation, speak the words clearly, retell the lecture as clearly as possible, as accurately as possible, and you're going to be fine for retail lecture, which is contribute to your speaking score and your listening score as well. So this is the intricate task. And the last one, answer short question, 5%. So the percentage here is according to Apeuni. I'm not sure about the real exam, but I think should be something like this, should be similar percentage. This is just the idea, the general idea, like ranking from read around, repeat sentence, describe image, retail lecture, and the least important task in speaking section is the answer short question. That's why I never practice this task, because I think, why would I just spend my energy, my time, and my effort practicing the task that just contribute to me 5% in speaking section, So what should I recommend you to do for answer short question? Speak the answer if you know the answer. Say something if you don't know the answer. Try to get something from the question that you hear from the audio. Otherwise, you just say something, like randomly. Try not to keep it silent. So that's it for my score report, the speaking section test 36A which I conducted last Sunday. I hope that this video can give you some useful information to help you to prepare your exam. And a lot of people ask me about read aloud question, which is the most important task in speaking section for PTE academic exam. And they ask me how to improve read aloud because they try so hard to practice on the app, and then they always see red everywhere. They never see like green words. Their score is always 40, 50, never get higher score for read aloud. So there are some key factors that can help you to speak more naturally or to improve your read aloud question. I just give you example here. So The factors are, for example, the word stress. You have to work on the word stress. You have to pronounce the word correctly. The word stress means the emphasis we place on specific syllable in a word. For example, building. You have to be able to know that you have to pronounce like building, not building. This is the example. Because if you don't know where to put the stress on, then the algorithm won't be able to understand what you speak. The second factor that can improve your read aloud question and improve your speaking score is the chunking or the pausing. You have to stop. You have to know where to stop. You cannot like speak everything in one breath, which is impossible. The third factor that can help you to improve your read aloud is connected speech. Connected speech means you have to be able to know where to link words together, because native English speakers, they do like that. When they speak, they try to speak like everything all together. So you have to study a little bit about connected speech if you want to improve your speaking score, especially for your read aloud. And connected speech also can improve your listening score as well, because when you hear the listening audio native speakers speak, and when they speak, of course they speak like with connected speech. So I highly recommend you to take some time to study connected speech. And the fourth factor is final sound. You have to work on the final sound. Some people don't pronounce the final words. For example, the T, the ED, the ES, or the S, something like that. I have made a series of videos about these factors. So subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And I think I will start posting some of these videos next week after this mock test video, so that you can watch it and then you can implement it. And of course, you are going to improve your PTE speaking score. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you so much and goodbye.